Okay.
Now I'm super low, like I'm terrible short.
Welcome back to another episode of Body Language Podcast. Run the Lion. To my right, to your left. I am your host, Ty Moore. And let's talk about some funk, baby. Let's talk about some cool shit. Y'all gonna have to speak up since y'all sharing the mic. Right so on. Don't be afraid.
I can't just sit here and grunt the entire time?
Yeah, no, you can't do that. You have to, like, talk, project. Yep. Anyway, how you guys doing today?
Well, not bad, man. How about you?
Fantastic. Fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's good to share a show with you again.
Yeah, man. Cheers.
Got your claw going.
The claw. Everybody's
cheers, Bubba. Cheers.
What's that? What's that? It's like ain't no laws when you're drinking the claws.
That's right.
Yeah. My man.
That's right. Yeah, look what I pulled out of my hair earlier.
What the hell, man?
That's a tuft.
That's Friendsfest. That's Friendsfest stage one right there. Putting it on the rug. Leave it all on the stage.
I'm fine with that. We got a broom.
Leave it all
there.
on the stage, baby.
I brought a broom.
Anyway, so this was my pizza. This was supposed to be going in the pizza thing. They were like, "You have any money?" I was like, "Dude, I came here with like a shit ton of money, but I have a debit card and $3 bills." So, fuck. All right.
Man, we're on the honor system here. You'll have pizza, don't worry.
Yeah.
Well, I figured. Well, last year two people didn't have money for the taco truck, so I bought their meal. So maybe this Friendsfest karma is gonna come back for me.
A slice will come your way.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Just make sure it gets to my lady because she's got to feed the booty.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
It's important.
You
can't
roll one of the day. But anyway, you guys, tell me about your band, man. Tell me about some of the things you got going on.
Oh, man, we're just trying to get the name out these days. It's just a newer project. You know, we've all played music together for about, 20 years, most of us?
It's been a minute. Yeah, we started as teenagers out in a shed in Silver Hill, Alabama. And we've come a long way since then.
It is.
A lot of different projects, a lot of different genres of music, and I think it's all kind of encompassed now into what we're doing.
I was about to say, you typically like have to make a run of 3 or 4 different things you're adamant about before you're like, okay, we're just gonna kind of mix it all together. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know when you feel it, and you're like, oh, this sucks.
Well, that's exactly. That's exactly what happened to me when I started DJing because I come from like a very like I listened to hardcore music and punk rock for a long time, and that was like my thing. And then I was exposed to the right thing on the right day, and then my wheels start turning, and that was 5 years ago, and now all I do is pick guitar and DJ and write my own shit. So I feel that transition.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like we carry over that energy because we started we learned cut our teeth on punk rock and alternative as well, and the stuff we do nowadays, it's a little more dancey, but we still. I think that energy and that raw energy is what kind of distinguishes us, from the other local acts. At least that's what I feel.
I haven't seen you guys with your new old drummer. Does he still do like the thing, that kind of thing that you do? That's what makes you guys so dancey. Is that y'all's Two-Door Cinema Club, like
yeah, man. He picks it up, and honest to God,
that offbeat hi-hat kind of thing you got going on.
Yeah, man. He is the backbone of it. Honest to God, like he's the feeling of it. He's got the style of dance, metal, punk rock.
Hell yeah. Is he here? I don't think I've met him yet.
He's here.
He's right there, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, word. Yeah, I have met. Okay, what's up?
Right there,
Word, what's up, man?
He's recently got him a drum pad. And,
nice.
He's been killing the fuck out of
nice.
the thing, too.
But you said metal. He'll throw in some double bass runs every now and then. We're not used to that. It amps up the energy even more.
Oh yeah, it takes anything that we are capable of on the front end and just pushes it that much more on the back end.
Hell yeah. Pledge, man. Pledge.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's a beast. Yeah.
So I mean that means you're just all by yourself up front now, man.
Oh man, yeah, it's a thing. They push me back up front. Oh my lord,
wow,
rub your nipples again at me and see if I don't appreciate it.
You can cut diamonds with those things,
I mean,
bro.
goddamn, look at that. No, yeah, you're just amped up, baby. Is what it is. Things are happening.
Hey Matt, are those gray sweatpants that we were talking about in the podcast earlier when you got accidentally called a woman?
No.
Are those the same sweatpants?
These would have been much more like single drawstring, no pockets.
less form fit.
Real lounge.
Less form
When I was
fit.
13 years old, I was sitting at the Pensacola Air Show, and I was in sweatpants, big fro, glasses, baby face. And this lady comes up to me and goes, "Excuse me, ma'am, what time is it?" And I was like, "Ma'am, I'm a 14-year-old boy." She thought I was a mom, dude. Great white New Balance.
Fuck you, Karen.
Excuse me, which
Fuck
one of
you,
your
Karen.
children?
Like someone's aunt sitting out there.
Fuck you, Karen.
Fuck you, Karen.
Fucking
Goddamn
bitch.
Fucking you and your brother Donnie.
Hey, by the way, I said something earlier in last, not mine and Jessica's podcast that we shot this morning, but earlier with me and Matt. I'm a big fan of this band. The vocalist is an actor on a Netflix series. But I ordered one of those deluxe packages when the record came out, but they mistakenly sent me 30 copies of this. So I've been leaving them around. I put 2 on y'all's windshield wipers on the van.
I was wondering.
See, I've got one in my tent.
It's
It's
it's like Talking Heads meets Death Cab meets like a shade of The Strokes.
Right up my alley.
Yeah,
So it's like an indie band with like a real like almost slightly out of tune edge.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
they like they're a hammer down band or like kind of like a weird indie ballady. Kind.
Yeah.
They bounce back and forth. But you know those hammer down indie songs that it's just like
yeah.
they ring. They're just like da 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 da. You know, but it's
Yeah.
like that's that to me that they're the epitome of that right now.
Yeah.
I feel like.
So I wanted to share them with everybody.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I was wondering.
30 copies.
I wasn't sure who's been passing those out.
Yeah, it was me.
I feel like I hear so much influence from Talking Heads and just David Byrne in general with a lot of stuff we write.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like it's kind of come back around. You can't overstate how
The now sound or with y'all?
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah.
He is
Just the now
responsible.
sound, yeah.
He is,
Yeah.
honest to God, I saw him on, what was it, Jimmy Fallon the other night. Oh, no, it was just SNL. Yeah, SNL. And just as good as ever. And when you hear those songs, they sound just as fresh as ever. And that man is responsible now and doesn't get as much credit for the current sound of music.
Absolutely.
Than, some of the other ones that are around, like Michael Jackson and all. Like, yeah, they're around. But David Byrne, if you listen to it, like, a new Pearl Jam song sounds
perfect
exactly like a goddamn Talking Head song.
Which is so weird to hear, right?
Yeah.
To roll off the tongue, to know that Eddie Vedder is responsible for something that could be even closely related to a David Byrne song.
But to me, like Talking Heads are just a timeless band.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
That music, you can listen to it anytime. It's always fun. It's always dancey. It's always feels current.
That's what I was about to say. It's dancey, and it was dancey in the '80s, but now with like so many different DJs and beat makers and producers popping up everywhere, music like that has a relevancy again. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, you see, man, we just talking
Empire of
about
the Sun, MGMT, that whole new wave of stuff in the mid 2000s to things that caused the DJ epidemic that is the electronic doo-doo realm that I seem to have caught myself in,
I said it a minute ago. I brag about your ass all the time.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate
But
that.
no, you see the newer bands, too, like Green Day, Pearl Jam. Like,
They're all
we've been
adding
talking-
dancey
Weezer,
aspects,
They're
yeah.
all coming back around. They're
Weezer's
trying-
always had a good, like, whiny realm that is always accented, a good synth part that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
always been either forgotten about or perfectly put.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They have occupied that kind of outside territory for a long time.
Yeah.
Like they've been right outside, but they're the entire time. It seems like.
Yeah, with them, like I feel like when I think of them, like I think of that Weezer sound. I think of the Blue album.
Oh, all
Yeah.
day,
But I mean,
Sweater Song.
that's the only album that sounds like
No reverb, shit tons of treble, like the
Yeah.
cheapest distortion
some
sound.
synthesizers.
Yep.
I heard Buddy Holly on the radio the other day for the first song in a minute, and I was like, damn, nothing sounds like that, and they don't sound like that.
No, they haven't sounded like that.
Yeah,
ever
what about
since.
that? What about that fucking tour they're on right now? That
Oh, yeah. Who are they out there with?
Fall Out Boy, Green Day.
God, dude, that shit, when I
Dude,
saw
that would be
I would be
fire.
I mean, I appreciate
Fire.
Fall Out Boy now. I didn't when they were around, but I can appreciate.
But see,
Fall Out
I'm the
Boy.
opposite
Yeah,
now.
they-
I mean, but see, I was like very involved, like I said, in like the metal and the hardcore and the punk realm, but it was punk when I was younger, and then it got into pop punk things like like Green Day and MXPX, Newfound Glory, and then
Blink-182 was one
Do
of
you-
the last punk bands
and
we
Blink.
liked.
But see, right? You know what I mean? Blink, I feel like has been one of those things that's been around for so long that's kind of encouraged a lot of music, not just punk bands. But do you remember when hardcore and metal, like the scene, the music, the emo music scene that was popping? Do you remember when pop punk was reinventing itself and they were like pop punk was being written in C tuning They were having breakdowns,
Yep.
and it was like this is
2005,
crazy.
2006, 2007 era of like that weird emo.
But now those bands have dance
Yeah.
All of them.
rhythmics
Oh,
to
yeah,
it.
Fall Out Boys
They've
and-
kicked. They've
yeah.
they've gone back up to D and they've added a synth, and they have a bridge now,
And that's
like in their songs.
And while that was going
You know?
on, we were playing ska punk.
all day.
Dude.
Yeah, all day. Yeah,
Hey.
yeah, trying to pull that shit back around. What you got on?
Rude Boy.
Oh my God, look at that.
Rude Boy.
That's
Awesome.
fucking
Dude,
cool. Oh, yeah,
I was a
this
big
one-
third
this one's a
wave
huge-
ska fan, dude.
This one's all about some Rancid.
Yeah, dude.
Rancid
Rancid is
taught me
good.
how to play music, basically.
Yeah, Tim Armstrong's awesome,
Yeah,
man.
Matt Freeman is my. I started on bass.
Yeah.
You know, so I basically.
Is he still playing bass for Rancid?
Yeah,
Because I know
he's still
the
going
drummer from the
strong.
Used is now the drummer for Rancid.
It's pretty much the same lineup, other than the drummer.
Lars and
and Matt Freeman. He had. I think he got ill. He had some kind of. I think he had throat cancer.
Oh
I
fuck.
thought you said he had cancer
Yeah.
at one point.
Do you-
Like damn near death's door.
But,
Do you guys have any like people from your past that now that Instagram and Facebook is so big, and I speak just for myself because I'm on Instagram. Do you guys see do you guys ever like make contact with people that are in bands that you liked as a kid that were big that necessarily aren't so big now? Like my specific reference is H2O and Toby Moore. I mean, they've toured with Bad Religion. I mean, that's H2O, Madball, Hatebreed, like all spectrums. The vocalist has his own clothing brand, does a big sneakerhead, very involved in the Anyway, I reached out to him, after like years of listening to these guys, but he was on Instagram, and because it's such a personal thing, he reached out to me and got back, and now it's like kind of like the subset of people that are around H2O, like other bands like Rancid, because he has a Toby's got a podcast, has Tim Armstrong on it occasionally.
Awesome.
So do you guys, I don't know if y'all are on Instagram, but do you guys ever run, being a band and being like me, being a musician, do you guys find yourself getting down the social media hole and reaching out to people who that you liked when you were younger? Because I did that and I found that it fucking worked.
See,
it worked.
I follow a few, people, and I find it interesting. I haven't really, I like a lot of their stuff, comment here and there, but I haven't really, kind of worked up the gumption or really thought of things to say to really reach out to them. And when I'm talking about following,
Because you don't want to be a kook,
Yeah, we've been
Right.
standing
Yeah.
next to rock stars and haven't walked up to them and said something.
Yeah, you don't want to ever be that guy.
Yeah.
Well, see, I try not to be that guy, but this goes a long way.
It
sure does.
I met Slightly Stupid, I met Grizz, and honestly, I have arrangement of artists simply because I had a few drinks, and I was like, you know what, they are people too.
Yeah,
They are
well,
people too. They put their pants on the same way I do.
Our bass player's like that.
I'm gonna walk up
to
and
anybody.
yeah.
You'll have him on tomorrow. He can walk. I admire that. He can walk up to anybody and have a conversation with them.
I'll put you on a pedestal mentally, but at the same time, it's like, I'm sorry, are your underwear do you have an
Oh, yeah,
underwear
exactly.
machine where you don't have to touch your pant and somebody wipe your ass? Are you different than me?
Yeah.
Your
How do you
brain.
put your pants on, you son of a
So
bitch?
you guys being a band, I just know that the last few bands before I started DJing, I was very adamant about reaching out through social media because that is how I've got a lot of my rhythm.
Yeah, you have to, man. In fact, that's actually something we're trying to get better at, is being more active on social media, because I'll be honest with you, this is not my bag of tea. Yeah. Josh, our keyboard player, and Matt, they're really great at it, but it's something you have to do nowadays.
See, I like meeting people like you though, because you live the way that I would want to live. Particularly, I feel like I'm hardly on social media because I have the four main platforms. I'm a musician, so I have a platform for my music, which is SoundCloud. And then
we have SoundCloud.
I have a Facebook and Instagram. That's my touch with the world. And then my YouTube channel for me to get on and talk about fart jokes and dicks. But then also record family movies because we have a family channel too.
Especially
Aside,
at a budget.
right? You know what I mean? We have our podcast where we can let loose, and then we have our vlog channel where we can make our own home movies and stuff, and our journeys and shit. Not just home movies, but journeys and shit, because we do a lot of shit. So my whole thing is I feel like I'm not on social media that much at all, but that's in comparison to people I surround myself with, people who have Twitter, people who have Snapchat and Instagram and Facebook, and are on YouTube all the time, and are musicians and have Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud. So it's compared to that, I'm off the grid. But then meeting people like you, it's like that's really encouraging to me because I want to live like you, but I also care about my craft, so I'm velcroed to it.
Oh yeah,
You know?
that's the thing. Like Matt Adams gets on my ass all the time. He's like, we need to be pushing it more. Like I'm all about pushing it. I want to push it. It's just I'm terrible about those kind of things.
That's the way information moves now.
It does, man.
You have to have a presence, and people, and attention spans are short. Yep. You got to catch people. You have to continuously have a presence.
So fucking short. Yeah, you have. Well, that's just like stage presence. Like you have, like you can't just get up there. You could be a badass band, but if you get up there and suck balls, it's like just on your stage presence. Like it's like, dude, these guys sound great, but it's like I'm watching a live YouTube video.
Yeah, you gotta feel the energy, and that's something we've always prided ourselves on. Like I said, we came up, just with playing house parties and
rock shows and metal bands.
Yeah, and like we'd be playing a few people, but we always prided ourselves on just giving it your all, playing with high energy, acting like you were playing in front of hundreds and hundreds of people.
See that's it. That's the thing. Me and Joe were talking about that. The guy that did the Teteramorph movie. I was talking to him like whenever I hadn't seen him in 16 years. We used to have classes together. Last time I saw him, I was like sucking the farts out of the local bands' asses, like all the hardcore bands like Life Left and Say Your Last, like anything they did. That's what I mimicked when I got out of high school and moved to Montgomery. I was doing what I saw here, so I had I was ground zero for that. For C tuning in good music, like when that started, it was just like breakdowns, shotgun haircuts, like. But dude, hardcore dancing was a big. But but now look, if you go to where I moved to, hardcore dancing is a big deal because you head walk, you crowd kill, you're stage diving.
There's a whole thing.
But you're doing it and there's people don't do push pits, dude. They hardcore dance and they're serious.
There's a technique to it,
and it's like that's what I fell into. That's the thing that's what got me involved. It was like being involved with the band, being able to see music that wasn't being like so choreographically written that I could get on stage with, that they didn't mind me taking the mic, or I could easily do a fill-in show with, or like I could play those big. And it's like you just get involved. You're dancing, you're hardcore dancing, and then you meet people, and then people aren't met, and it's just a fucking crazy realm. So I don't know. So when social media took that hit, I reached out to all those old things and kind of like you're past 30. You're closing in on 30, or
32,
you're 32. I'm about to be 32. You're
33.
You're 33. Yep. So when you hit 30, you have that moment where you're like, interests come full circle. Yeah. In a weird way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You start to kind of go back to stuff that's familiar and nostalgic, and you really, like you said, it comes for full circle. And you really figure out what you truly like.
It's
and
like
when you get in your 30s, you don't give a fuck.
You really don't, right?
Like,
and that's what's so great about
I like
being.
this, and that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
that's what's so great about being like a musician nowadays. As much as bullshit that people take nowadays. For being, DJs or electronic music, that's what I love about it, is because I have an opportunity to showcase like little snippets of my favorite movies, my old favorite bands, some of my favorite breakdowns, right into a song that people are going to dance to. So I get a mixture. It's like a fruit punch.
Yeah.
And I really, that's the aspect of what I'm doing now that I fucking appreciate so much, and the fucking podcast, because I can have people that are like-minded, that play different music in a different way.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, because a lot of times you can hear like people like Travis Barker and Machine Gun Kelly doing something, but if you hear them talk about it first, you're like, I'm gonna listen to this fucking shit. You know what I mean? And so it's like, that's my spectrum with the podcast. It's like, it's just like the DJing thing, because I love punk rock, I love ska, I love reggae, I love old country, I love good breakbeat, lo-fi hip-hop, I love hip-hop. Like, there's so many different things. Like, dude, I was fucking listening to Dean Martin on the way here. So, I love that shit. So it's nice to sit down with people who are my age and come from like a punk background, a pop punk background, and an individual. Get out of my house. You need to get your own house. Get the fuck, like you have those moments where your parents are like pushing you. You had both space, so that's nice to,
No, yeah, man. It's like I said, it's nice to meet people who. Especially
last night, you did. Was it with a magician or a comic?
Oh my god.
We've had a magician before open up for us, and bless his heart, it was.
And as kooky as it sounds, how many times did Rodney Dangerfield open up Guns N' Roses?
I mean,
I didn't know that.
I didn't know
That's
that.
great.
Yeah.
Like,
did that actually happen?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, like or
That's
how many
amazing.
times did like one of the Murphy brothers open up Tribe Called Quest or something like that?
Yeah.
And do like 10 minutes and be like, all right, motherfucker, Tribe Called Quest.
I've got
and
a-
like, or something, like how that happens.
I actually got to see Chris Rock at Bonnaroo. I think it was in 08.
Perfect example.
Chris Rock was on the main stage and he did his set and it was hilarious. It was great, making fun of all the hippies. And it was awesome. And then he introduced Metallica.
Oh yeah.
So I got to see Chris Rock open for Metallica.
And that's badass.
And it was amazing.
It was amazing.
Yo, that was my day one band, by the way. It was Bad Company live in Chicago, a scratched AC/DC Back in Black version of it on CD, and all up until Garage Inc.'s days Metallica discography. Those were my day ones. I had a little bit of soft approach, like trucker kind of raw, and then it was more like, okay, bitch, let's play.
Yeah.
Like,
Man, I
tune in D and like get you a distortion pedal.
Yeah, just it'll get you going, man.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I know Black Album is contentious, but I don't
I mean,
care.
fuck that.
Put on
Dude,
Black Album and crank
all
that
day
shit,
long,
man.
all day, yeah.
My favorite, is it not, and you guys being musicians, y'all probably experience this all the time, like, some of your like most popular like favorite like musician stuff the most hated?
Oh yeah,
Like,
Oh yeah.
absolutely.
Like, let's
yeah.
go off this because it's on the top of my mind, because you said something earlier that I thought you were about to say something about Kanye. But Kanye's 808s and Heartbreak, I fucking love that.
808s and Heartbreak. I have it on vinyl.
Right, so do I, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yes.
The bonus
That was-
CD.
Dude, I got the poster and it's framed in my house.
Yeah, I love
And he's
that album.
doing this little thing in the suit with the little balloon.
That album that was during a summer where it was really kind of, I was at a crossroads.
2008, baby,
It
me
was
too,
It
man.
was a turning point in my life, and that got me and our bassist Matt Adams through that and a few other albums we used to rock. But yeah, man, we played the shit out of that album. It got us through some hard times.
And then take it right out and put in Nimrod by Green Day,
That's
right?
right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Bam, baby, that's what I'm talking about.
Throw a little shout out to that summer. A lot of New Order and the Smiths
Yeah,
were also played.
Dude,
Honestly, all day
shout
long,
out to everyone that survived 2008, okay?
Yes, yes.
Like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, but that was an interesting time.
that was a weird
I
time.
worked at a music store, Music for a Song. If anyone,
Oh, yeah, at
from
the mall.
Foley, yeah, at the mall, Foley, Alabama.
Now it's
at the Tanger
the
Outlets.
purse. It's the
No,
purse
it's an
part.
underwear store now, which is ironic because women never used to.
Wait,
come
I thought
in
it was the
there.
purse part of TJ Maxx.
Let's be real.
I
here.
thought
just being real.
I thought it was the purse end to TJ Maxx. It was like where the purses are now.
Yeah. Well, last time I was there, it was an underwear store, like a women's.
You could be
underwear.
right. You could be right.
But no. That was an interesting time. It was so much fun, and it was kind of like the last gasping breath of traditional music stores. Now, record stores are still going, but this was
And you can go buy an Elvis clog and a CD and a movie
right
on the same
We had
thing.
video
yeah.
games there too, and we actually we carried used vinyl.
I remember that.
Which
wasn't popping at the time though. It
No,
wasn't popping at the time.
Yeah, but it was all because we were all collecting vinyl, so we special ordered a lot from corporate because we could special order records, and they saw how much that we spent in the store, and they just assumed that we were selling a lot of vinyl, so they
they
said,
just
well,
kept sending
y'all are
some
gonna carry used vinyl. So it was awesome.
Heyday for y'all, awful for your wallet.
That's what I'm,
Yeah,
that's what I was
dude,
gonna
they
say.
had- They
That
had
was-
crates in the
Because I'm like,
house.
yo, I've been collecting vinyl since my
Oh,
uncle was like, hey, I'm gonna throw these away, or you can have them. I'm like, I don't like any of this, but it's
just
music
give me
and I
all of it.
want it.
Give me all of it. Yeah.
Oh, well, it was terrible because I was a manager there, but I was probably making like not much more than minimum wage. It's it's
Especially
retail jobs
then.
back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not much money.
$8.50 an hour, man.
Yeah, and so people would bring in used records. We'd have to look through them, so you'd have your stack. You'd be like, oh, mine, that sucks,
Yeah,
mine.
yeah, start- Basically, you're shopping when these people come in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What do you? Oh yeah. Let me tell you
That
what
was
you got.
Oh, yes!
I've ever been in my entire
What's that
life.
guy's name? I don't know, but he's got all the records.
He's got that guy
He's a
right
great guy.
But I got some cool shit that I picked up from that store. Man, that was good times though. Like I said, the last gasp of those types of music stores, they don't really exist anymore. I worked in an FYE.
Sam Goody in
before
Pensacola.
that. Sam Goody's still there.
Yep.
No shit.
But,
No, it's FYE. FYE.
FYE. I worked at an FYE before Music for a Song, and that was terrible. That was like the worst.
So you
end
did
of
the CD
corporate.
shops. I did the fucking venue cleanup.
Oh,
like
wow.
that was my
Oh,
connection
yeah.
with it. So it's like now in retrospect, as like a 30-year-old with kids, I wish I would have taken that approach because now it would probably be a lot easier to maintain your fluency with the music business being in a more commercial involvement.
Yeah.
Rather than like cleaning up puke off the stage or
Oh, yeah.
learn how to run XLR cables and
It's like some
shit like that, you know.
kind of shit right there.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're cleaning the back room. Go get on stage and be amazing.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Yeah, interesting times, 2008.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
All right, look, before we go any further, we're going to do an ad.
Gotta pay the bills, buddy.
Gotta pay the-
Yeah. Golf to Go.
I'm not making money for this.
Golf to Go. This episode is sponsored by Golf to Go, okay, the best restaurant delivery service in Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, Perdido Key, and West Pensacola area. Golf to Go brings you the food you want, wherever you want it, even if you're naked. Preferably have clothes on, but if you're naked, call.
I'll believe it.
This is America.
This is America, baby. Delivering delicious food from local restaurants, giving you the luxury of having your favorite out-to-eat meal in the comfort of your own friggin' home.
And that's what you want.
That's what you want, baby. That's what you want. No nicotine, no alcohol, no nudies.
Bastards.
Food, okay? Good food.
everybody's
Surf and
gotta
turf.
eat.
Pizza, shrimp, burgers, Subway, whatever. Okay, not to mention, you can now avoid those dinner rush wait times and crowded lobbies with snowbird farts. Okay?
That's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
If you're not from the South, you wouldn't really understand that. but
You know
it's
what
a
I
real
mean?
thing.
It's a
You know what I mean?
Claims you when you get down there.
Oh yeah, dude. It like ceases into your clothes. Wait for the food you love, sitting on your own couch. Yes, even if you're naked. Visit golftogo.com to see menus and order today, or give us a call at 251-973-6424. Tell us where you are. We'll bring the party to you, even if you're naked. Golftogo.com, link in description. Okay, if you're just joining us, I've got my buddies from Run de la Charlotte. Yeah, they're I still like I don't know, maybe it's me and maybe it's just because I'm a juvenile delinquent, but I still feel like you guys are new friends, but I've known y'all for like almost 2.5 years now, 3 years now, but it's like every time I see y'all
talking to you and close
it's still like I see y'all like once every 6 months or so, you know, and
I
like
talk to you about once every few weeks.
you
or
know what I
months,
mean?
yeah.
It's really nice to like that's true, we do text. We sext.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
We
yeah.
sext. Yeah, dude.
Call
Dude, I'm the
a
only
spade
one.
a spade.
I took
Be real about what we have here.
Right. Right, no shit. I'm the Lord, man. This has been a good day.
Fun.
Earlier when we got done with Matt's podcast, Matt P, Matt, no hair, bald, maroon pants, Matt.
Raging Matt.
He's coming.
He came up to me and was like, hey, how would you feel about us doing our own 30-40 minutes tomorrow morning? And I was like, that's perfect.
He's a personality.
He
That's
needs it.
perfect.
He's
That's
a
perfect.
personality. He's got to have his
Yep.
entire own.
Yeah, well, that's
he
why we
is.
bond so much.
Always talk about me when I walk around.
We were, it's a fucking, dude, it was like, it's, the devil comment.
He's moved on.
What's the devil? Yeah,
you
the
gotta
devil
catch-
comment.
You got to catch him fast.
Speak of the devil. Speak of the hairline.
What were you calling him?
Oh, Mr. Tump Tump.
Tump Tump.
He hates it.
Dumpy.
This old Mr. Tump.
Man, y'all want a cigarette? I'm gonna go get me a cigarette. Be right back. You guys do your thing for a
Oh
second.
Lord.
We got 45 seconds. It's like Hot Ones. Tell this camera, this camera.
What you got
What
going
you got
on?
going on?
What you got going on? What do we have going on? If he's going to use this, are you going to see this?
There's going to be some editing, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. If you see this, so help me God.
You're not supposed to be
You're not
seeing
supposed to
this.
see this. In fact, I feel like you're violating me right now.
By the way, I'm going to just give a little plug since we're here. This hat is compliments of Gibson's Western in McGee, Mississippi.
You are to see the goddamn boots this man has. My Lord.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right, robot cigarettes. Okay.
So quick, so fast.
I got it. Oh, did you feel that shock?
Ooh,
You feel that shock?
Electricity happening, baby.
Oh, damn. Oh, man. Yo, I've got... Y'all see the plethora of, like, just journey of these podcasts? Okay, when me and Jessica shot our podcast this morning, it was like a close-up podcast that was just... There was a mic on the laptop. The GoPro and the camera were a little closer. There was a Gatorade and a water and my medical bottle. My sponsor read, these 2 CDs, and everything else was just blank. We've shot 2 since then. Now there's Roach, there's CBD, empty medical bottle, there's a cigar.
I was wondering what that was. It looked like a
cigar ash. Like, just
I didn't try to eat it.
so much crazy shit.
I thought about it. It looks like a journey has happened here. It looks like, like one of those like progressive things.
A journey.
Yeah, we've been solving the world's problems.
Yep.
This is
true.
the man.
Did I bum this
big
off
dog?
you a long time ago?
No, you did not.
It must be mine. I lost it in my pants. For
Yeah, no,
the
see,
day.
mine
Happens.
mine's
I
blue.
want a blue one, but I'll lose it.
You got one? You got one to trade me? The gas station beside my house has got shit ton of blue ones.
I think that might be.
Is that one yours to trade?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
He said he wanted a blue one.
I do. Thank you.
There you go, Bubba.
That was magical.
Yeah.
I'm glad we were here to witness
The
it.
mooch happens again.
That was a fucking trade.
It was a fair trade. It was a fair trade.
Barter.
Good times, baby. I love it.
We love him.
Shout out to Jules for not giving that bad of lung cancer. As I smoke a cigarette.
You gotta get it both ways.
So I was talking to Matt earlier, and furthermore, now my Jules not dead. He
go.
walked out with a dead Jewel.
Good
He
for
deserves
you.
it, honestly.
He deserves
Yeah.
it. You fucking bitch of a bastard.
Good times.
This is a quote directly from Matt Adams that we never let him live down. You want to go smoke a cigarette? Can I have a
Can
cigarette?
I have a cigarette?
Let's,
That's him in a nutshell.
That's
his
him in a
life.
nutshell.
Nice.
That's his life.
Nice. Good times, dude. I love
But
it.
as I say this, one of the most creative bass players I've ever met.
Absolutely.
Not just a root note picker up.
No, man.
And he puts in pretty more work than anyone else, I think.
Damn.
That's all you gotta
He is
say to a bass
constantly-
player to crumble him at the knees is be like, well, you just
He's
you just
pushing
play root
us,
notes.
man.
No, he's constantly trying to improve and work
Pushing
on his
us,
craft.
yeah.
And he's so creative and has so much creative energy he has to create.
All the time.
And
What do you got there? What is that?
This is from Desi J Art. Want to interrupt real quick?
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
Oh,
Got
yeah, we
some
were talking about them earlier.
Really
Yeah.
badass paintings and stuff for sale this
let me see.
weekend.
Let me see.
Check that
How
out.
much is that?
Yes.
I kinda want that.
I'm not actually
Yes,
sure
it's
how
really
much they
cool.
Yes.
I kinda want that.
Check it
Yeah.
out.
I just-
Hey, link is in the description of all 3 of these
They just showed me
podcasts
there
for
and I
all these
stole it.
vendors. All the vendors.
Everything
vendors.
is beautiful. today.
Yes. Well, Matt and I had like a good 20-minute
Beautifully.
conversation about that earlier.
Beautifully.
Beautifully.
Such beautifully.
And the tie-dye that you're wearing. And the tie-dye.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was made
Did you buy that here
This is
too?
Yeah,
We
Larry's
did.
made these.
That's the tie-dye is the first link in the description next to the socials.
These are Larry's. He does like I think a
Larry,
quad wash on them so the color sticks.
Larry Bunkley.
And so they don't
Titties
fuck
on
up your
glass.
washer,
Yeah. Hey,
right?
That's a real thing.
right.
Yeah.
I said,
is,
and
yeah.
so they don't fuck up your washer.
Yeah,
What
that's
else?
real,
Because I
yeah.
remember, like, whenever you would buy those kits, like at the store, or whatever, they're like, make sure you wash them like one time to make the color like hold.
So does it ruin all
He
your other
does
clothes?
4.
Oh, word.
Well, no, it's to make sure they don't fade.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
good
okay,
to
yeah,
go.
word. Okay.
If you get one of those kits and everything, and you don't wash it, and then you just hang it up and then wash it like you would wore it, the color will like bleed
Yeah,
right out of it.
Yeah.
But he does it like 4 washes, so it holds.
Hell yeah.
I'll bother y'all a lot tomorrow.
Well, you got a podcast with us in the morning.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. But yeah.
Man's our brother. We love
Yeah,
him.
man.
We give him a lot of shit.
He's a good dude.
It's out of love.
It's out of love. He does
He's a good
deserve
dude.
a lot of it. but
He
it's out of
does.
love.
Do you guys? Do you remember when last year, whenever I showed up with Nick, about the same time we showed up last night, and you introduced me to everybody, and then you were like, "Okay, this is Matt," and if he offends you, just know that he doesn't know that he offended you. Okay, so
believe
just
that I said
just like
Just roll
he's a
with
cool guy. He's in our band, and I said, and I was so worried. I was like, God damn it.
What does this asshole want to say to me?
Yeah, right. Because I'm already feisty enough, so now 2 feisty people. But then we hit it off like
Oh
that.
yeah,
and
y'all.
boom.
Yeah. He was
you know?
enamored with you, like walking up, like wanting to watch what you're doing that night.
He's one, honestly, he truly thrives on life.
He does, and meeting people.
He likes to experience everything to its fullest. And that's a good trait to, like, it is. I wish I was more like that sometimes. A lot of times I'm kind of a little bit more low-key introverted.
Yeah, we're very much the same way.
He's always down to do. He'll
talk to somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, he's always creating. He's an author.
Writer for multiple magazines. The
Lanyap, right?
Yeah. The Lanyap, Coastal Living.
Are you serious?
Yeah. He's
Does he have a degree in writing?
Yeah,
he's educated. And the son of a bitch makes his own blueberry jam too.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah! He's a canner.
He is the blueberry bitch. Old BB.
He's a canner, man. I can dig that.
Old Mr. Tump BB.
I can dig it.
Actually, it'd be Mr. BB Tump Tump. He's gonna hate that.
See, that's how you guys watch Silicon Valley?
Oh, I've watched a good bit of it, but not all of it.
Have y'all seen, there's an episode where they're talking about Richard leaving Pied Piper and assuming that the team that helped create Pied Piper was going to walk with him. And so they don't ever talk bad about him in the whole show, except for this one part where Dinesh and Guilfoyle, who are his team coders, they say, what the fuck was Richard thinking that we would just leave with him? Yeah, man, but I don't really want to say anything bad about him. We need to come up with a code word to say something bad about him, but we're not saying anything bad about him. Yeah, you're right, like Rigby. Okay, Rigby, what the fuck is his problem? All right, Rigby, I love him, all right? Like, he's awesome. Rigby, but is he fucking crazy? Like see, I'll just need, from here on out, y'all's format is just Mason Jar.
Oh my God, I love it.
Mason Jar, love him. Mason Jar,
yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Mason Jar, you're an asshole. He sees me. He just doesn't know that's his name yet.
Mason Jar, love you. Yeah. Oh shit, it's great.
Well, man, we're gonna have some fun tonight.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be a good time. For having us on this, by the way.
Dude, thank you guys for fucking being here, man.
Absolutely.
Really fucking proud of you for getting this going, man.
Well, thank you, dude.
Every time I told them the other day, like, all your videos got like fucking 75 plus goddamn views, and dude, yeah, it's taking off.
I have more views than I've got subscribers, man. I mean, like, well, I just assume because the vlog channel, but the vlog channel that we got is like not family orientated, but it's sort of family orientated because it's like we'll shoot vlogs where we go see Theo Vaughn and we talk about dicks and farts, but then the next episode could be like Olive's birthday. So it's like the podcast is, I assumed, I didn't know how much weight letting your balls hang out actually had when it came to being an entertainer. Because everybody on my social media, they know what I've done before in the past.
Making it rain yet?
As far as like music and things like that. So when I started the vlog channel, they're like, this is weird and like this is strange. Like, why is he doing a vlog channel? But it was just a personal interest that I wanted to have.
Yeah.
And then aside from that, you have, like you discover podcasting, just like if you're a musician, you discover DJing, and like, I don't know. It's just like I assumed that the podcast would take as long as the vlogs did, but it grew. We've only been live for a month and a half, and we're almost at 30 episodes and almost at 2,000 lifetime views. Where we're already almost at 10,000 on the vlogs, and the vlog channel's been up for 2 years. This has been a month and a half. We're already 1/3 of the way.
Did you say 30 episodes in a month and a half?
Yeah, dude, he's been busting them out. Like multiples of like 3.
Yeah.
That's some work, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's impressive.
I really enjoy doing it. I enjoy.
You seem like you enjoy doing it.
I really do, man. It's fun, man. It's fun. It's one of those things where it's like I get to hang out and I get to learn more about my friends, become closer to friends I'm not so close with, and like I feel like I'm a very opinionated person. Like I have a tendency to like drink and talk a lot of shit on the internet. But then I also have a tendency to, but that's how I view it. That's how I view it, right? It's a platform for that. Yeah. But I also use it. I get drunk and I show a lot of love. It's like I'm also I have the yin and yang.
It's all about balance, baby.
It's balance. That's right. So, podcast is like a way for me to like exercise some of the things that I don't think are so tasteful to be putting on Facebook and Instagram. It's like, well, instead of just making like a 150 character comment about it, let's talk about it for 30 minutes, and like really,
Yeah, and on that same note, I get what you're saying. Like, if it's on Facebook, Instagram, it's available to everyone instantly because so many people just scroll it. This,
it's microdized, it's like micro clip of what you really think.
This you have a little bit more leeway because someone has to seek it out a little bit more, right? It's not automatically like on their feed. They're like, oh, I want to go and listen to this podcast. Yeah. So you do have a little bit more leeway because it's something that someone's wanting to
view and watch and absorb. Yeah.
Exactly.
But see, that's a good metaphor for life too, because if you think about it, like everybody wants, like, or that's around us nowadays, like wants something bite-sized, and they want to hear the entire story in a 15-second explanation. When, first off, not to get like to go deeper and incredibly deep or anything, but like I feel like things like people founding countries and companies and big like organic world-sized things start with having, I don't know, like a platform to like really just whip your balls out.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, basically.
People like listening to somebody, has something
it's
to
like
say.
exercise that shit a little bit. I don't know. I've always been really big into that. I feel like I said, I'm a very opinionated guy, so it's like America is the type that wants the whole story in 15 seconds. But if you want the real story and you want to hear and fully educate yourself, listen to that particular podcast or that particular channel, and don't just hear what somebody who runs or is on that channel has to say. Watch what they got to say, because there could be a lot of like-minded shit that could not only. My thing right now, I'm at an age where I'm learning so fucking much.
Yeah, man.
I'm learning so much
every day.
The
and
world
it's
is
like
more connected every single day.
it's like I'm overstimulated with just knowledge sometimes, and it's like it pisses me off because I can't process it all because of the alcohol in the pot. But you know what I mean.
Yeah,
But it's,
and all there's tons of misinformation too. So you have to be careful. You know,
you got to be sharp in order to like discard what's garbage to what's not garbage. By the way, just now cracking this beer you gave me earlier. Shame on me. It's still cold, by the way.
Good.
I
was worried about that. I didn't want it to be a lukewarm.
No, we're good. We are cold. We are coldy.
And Bud Light, by the way, if you want to sponsor Run the Lion, we will be happy if you want to do that, Bud Light. So
I'll drink your products all day.
I will hashtag you and throw a shout out your way.
Yep.
Give us beer, please.
I'll crack them all
And
style
if you
all
guys
day long.
like podcasts, you could sponsor a fucking podcast. Okay, it's called Body Language. Body Language. Oh, dude, no, he can go right ahead. We're at the tail end anyway. This would be a good segue. And furthermore, these are lavalier mics. It will only pick that up a little bit.
Oh, shit, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They would just make a beat, just like,
Hey.
He almost stopped on the exact same goddamn dime a couple times.
well, he's only
that was amazing.
and he's only clearing out that little area.
Yeah, that's perfect.
It's not like he's doing the yard or nothing.
That's copyrighted. It's filmed. So help me fucking God if I
We
hear
will
it.
need residuals, okay?
I want 'em
We need
now.
royalties.
In fact, pay me for listening to it now. I think you owe me or owe us some of the whatever this is making.
Well, as a matter of fact, y'all but just go. Y'all go.
Wait a minute.
Tyler?
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, we're gonna need a check after this, motherfucker.
Yeah, not you.
What are you smoking, brother?
Thinking about it.
My business to talk about.
Shit. Good times.
Well, baby, thank you for having us on. Love
Man,
you.
it's been a pleasure. Love you guys. Run the Lion. Okay, don't confuse it with Run the Jewels. Okay, Run the Jewels is great, but Run the Lion. Okay, it's a funky card. All right. Run the Jewels is a hip hop card. It's a funky card. They do covers. They do originals. They do rock. They do a metal incorporated Humphreys McGee kind of touch to their rock approach. Some funk, some synth, some whatever. They're awesome.
Very kind.
Run the Lion.
We are on Spotify. We're on iTunes. We're on YouTube. We're trying to get the YouTube up and running. We're on Facebook.
Hopefully going to be filming this show tonight and putting it on YouTube.
Yeah, there'll be footage of that, and we'll put all those links in the description too. So if you have any interest in that, click the little arrow. All the links are in description. All the put their socials, their Facebook. Send me your Facebooks and all that stuff, like your personal stuff too.
T. Adam and Chris. I don't know if we ever.
Yeah, I think at the beginning of the podcast,
We can edit that if
right.
whatever.
Well, I think this, but honestly, to be 100% honest, this podcast has gone so smooth. I think I can upload it in sequence and just put the ad in the middle, and I don't have to edit any of it.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
It's been great. Well, T. Adam,
Do it
Chris.
going in raw, baby.
Yeah, right. Right? I love you guys.
Love you, brother.
Y'all be good.
Thank you, sir.
Man, pleasure seeing you guys.
Look forward to seeing you later.
Yay!
We're gonna,
Yeah.
Jacob, he knows how to work that PA system. You're going to be bumping.
Tight. Yeah, because Kale was running it last year, yeah?
Oh, yeah. But, that's some bitch over there.
He'll get you.
He going to get you
right, man.
He's going to get you right.
All right, look, episode 4138. Body Language Podcast, Run the Line, Friendsfest, Friendscast Part 2. Out.